The 23rd. I think it's the 23rd. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. We're live.
Hello, everyone. It is the 22nd of May, 2019. 22nd of May, 2019. One thing I have failed to tell you that I need to bring up to you. The administration has chosen, apparently, I'm going to say apparently, Sean Hannity to be the mouth organ for what's going on. So, folks, if you want to track what's happening, I would suggest you watch Hannity, and he should be in a position to tell you what's going on. And he doesn't have necessarily inside track to stuff, but I do know that some of the things that I have seen him announce are actually they're true and they're right, and they're in accordance with what's going on. Now today, being Wednesday, what I want to do is I always worry about this. I want everybody that's out there now, if you have a question or comment, get it in now so we have time to deal with your questions. You know, I always feel bad when, I end up taking all the time for the things I say, and I don't give y'all enough chances to ask questions that maybe I can answer. But I do want to remind you, I'm not Mr. Know-it-all. Sometimes I worry that I come across seeming like that, but I'm not. I'm not a prophet. I don't have visions. I don't wake up in the morning with an epiphany that I know what's going on, whatever. Not that way at all. The rules are simple. If I know for a fact something that I'm going to tell, I will state it as such a fact. And in most cases, when I state facts, I can give you a way to verify. The other category is my opinion. My opinion is just that. And folks, I don't want it to weigh more than anybody else's opinion necessarily. It's my opinion, and that's what it is, and take it as such. And then the third category would be when I tell you something that comes from an article, from an investigative report or something. In that case, I always try to let you know where it's coming from so you can check out for yourself the story or the information. And you can also make your own judgment as to the credibility of the person doing the reporting. Those are the three rules. I'm still worried, folks. I'm very worried about what is happening out there in the internet. I'm worried that people are out peddling stories just to grow their audience. Sometimes it seems like that's what it is to me. Just people trying to come up with a new spin, tell you something that they claim, they got from an inside source. And then everybody on the internet goes to it and thinks it's real. When most of the times, guys, it's not. It's not. And the reason I worry about that is because, remember, we're here to increase the activity, the number of people voting in the soft base. And if we go to the people in the soft base trying to get them to stand firm and be sure to vote and to understand what it's all about, when we send them on one of these wild goose chases with a story that's nuts, then they lose faith in us. They think we're just conspiracy nuts. So I beg you, when you're trying to talk to others, please stay with stuff that is absolutely 100% real and verified. Please. real things going on that are spooky enough to intrigue anybody that is a mystery person, novel person that wants private investigation books, all of that kind of stuff. There's plenty of that going on that's real. Real. One thing that we need to point out, let me get some water. One thing we need to start pointing out to people, to our friends of like mind, that the Democrats have made a full-throated commitment to go after Trump, to discredit him and to get him impeached or at least get him out. The problem is they have totally stopped doing the work of the people. And when you take the situation like we have on our southern border, their neglect, their absence of dealing with it is running the risk of getting people in this country killed. I have told you over and over and over that the rate they're coming in now seems to be around 100,000 a month, crossing our border illegally, 100,000 a month. 10% of that number is connected to terrorism. Folks, that's 10,000 people a month coming in. We're literally allowing the terrorists to build an army within our country. No, they have not officially declared a caliphate yet. But you'll notice in places like Dearborn, Michigan, and a few others, they might as well declare a caliphate because they've taken over totally those communities. Congress has got to get back to doing its job. And if they want to go after Trump, they need to do that as a sideline. They do not need to totally shut down our government trying to get in and leave us out here stranded. I know some people are going to be mad. Apparently, Mary Ellen told me about this, so I'm just passing on what she told me. Apparently, Pelosi and Schumer have begun ostensibly to talk about infrastructure. And I understand that Trump wanted them to drop the I word, or drop impeachment, stop the impeachment stuff. And apparently they would not. So he abruptly ended the meeting. Now, he'll be judged harshly for that. He truly will. Let me explain my opinion. Why he did the right thing. You see, if he entered into any kind of thing with Pelosi and Reid to actually do the job of working on infrastructure, while at the same time they're pulling every trick in the book to stab him in the back and get him impeached, it would fall apart. And he would have to look over his shoulder every second. There's no way he could continue on working in a traditional manner with Pelosi and Schumer when he knows that they're digging in whatever he does. They're going to turn around and use it against him in his impeachment. So what he is saying is the truth. Stop it. And let's get back to the business at hand. And he should have. We got to stop doing what the Democrats and the progressives and the deep state have. We got to stop letting them do to us what they've been doing for years and years and years. When it comes to working with them, negotiating, working together, doing bipartisan kind of projects and work, have you noticed that it's always the Democrats that refuse to budge? And the onus is always put on the Republicans to negotiate though everything was just fine. That's an insult. Not just to him, but to the office of the presidency. Remember, maybe the part everybody forgets, even with the investigations going on, like the early part, the Republicans in the Senate, Ray, his committee, etc. Even though that's going on, you've got to remember the coup. The silent coup is still in place and working. The next thing you're going to see in this campaign season, this election season, you're going to see as the socialists running for president get in the heated battles. They're going to start talking about how our government has shut down our form of government, just doesn't work anymore. Republicans and Democrats are stonewalled. They can't get together on anything. All Washington is today is just a game of gotcha, smear, gotcha, smear, gotcha. That's all it is. And part of that is on purpose. Because you see the progressives, in their effort to transform our form of government, they want people to understand that our present form of government is not functioning. It's not working. And since it's not working, what they're going to say, and it's coming, you better get ready for it. They're going to say that our representative constitutional form of government is outdated. You know, our founding fathers did not have cell phones, computers, airplanes, cars, none of that stuff. And so today, our Constitution don't work. And so they're going to do everything in their power to get people, especially the millennials. Remember, they've got a huge number of people, the millennials, that are perfectly willing for us to become a socialist country. They are perfectly willing folks. Yesterday alone, there was a poll. 41% of the people polled. Didn't have a problem with us becoming socialists. We didn't have a problem with 41%. That's scary. That is scary. And as I told Jason yesterday, I don't even see that poll. I've already seen a poll. I've seen a poll that's real, and I've seen a poll that's true. And that's the 2016 presidential election. And I must remind you, on election day, in the primary, in 2016, both parties primary. On that day, more people voted for Hillary and Sanders, communist socialists, outward about it, and voted for all the Republicans put together. 51% of this nation that day voted to become a socialist country. That's scary. That's unreal. It almost doesn't seem real, but it is. So now, Mary, you got any questions or comments yet?
One comment. Hey, Larry, I remember you from the early 90s. The thing you said about her woke me up. A question. Any news on the South China Sea? Our military presence is increasing.
No, I don't. I will say that our government, President Trump, is very much aware of China's activities in increasing their fortifications in South China Sea. But I do not know if there's anything imminent. I do not know if there's anything actually going on that would cause us reason to be concerned. don't know. What else?
The U.S. MCA is verified and real. Read it like I did.
And say that again.
U.S. MCA, the United States, Mexico, Canada Alliance is verified and real. Read it like I did. That was the guy talking yesterday about, the NAFTA replacement.
To my knowledge, although I have not reviewed it, that's not an area that I deal in. But to my knowledge, it corrects a lot what was wrong with NAFTA. Well, is it perfect? I don't know. I doubt it. But see, we're back in a position. We're in a position where we've got to trust in Trump. I'm not there in on the deals. You're not there in on making the deals. We're not privy to everything going on. Who says what and so forth and so on. We're not. So unfortunately, we have to rely on President Trump. And this is where I stand behind him. I believe in President Trump's business acumen. Listeners, I promise you that. Donald Trump is a fine businessman, as his personal wealth reflects. And I think he is fully capable of making a deal that is way better than that. Now, I do know Larry Kudlow, and he is, in the world of finance, I consider him quite brilliant. So let's don't panic over the Mexico-Canada-American deal yet. Let's see what materializes and what manifests. Which got
Just a thank you. Somebody's saying, I encourage everyone to order t-shirts. They're very nice and eye-catching.
Thank you. That's true. Those t-shirts, folks, you need to understand. They're expensive by comparison to $2 cheap shirts you can get anywhere. They are, I mean, the logo on it is using ink that's expensive. Big time. It's 3-color. That's expensive. And then the material. For the men's shirts, the material is the thickest we can get so that, women can wear them and not show through. So, you need to get them.
The women's shirts, folks,
it's a billboard. The reason I've got the flag in real hot yellow, and so it stands out in the crowd, I want people to see never socialism. Just like a neon sign. That shirt is a walking, talking neon sign. Please get it. Please. Again.
yeah, I was going to say the women's shirts are a little thinner than the men's.
Well, that's what I understand. You'll have to check into that.
Yeah. Do you think we are more socialist than European countries?
Yes. Yes, I do. That's my opinion. I cannot back it up with fact, but yes, I do. Anybody else?
Thank you for this. Somebody said I'll get a shirt. Thank you for doing that. You can get them at nicholslive.com. The order form's there. And if you have any problem paying for it, text me at 240-499-6729. I will add my number in the description underneath here. If you have a problem, text me and I will tell you how to work it out. Okay, question. When is the crackdown going to start?
When is the crackdown going to
Yeah, I assume, Anthony, that you're meaning the investigation and coming down with indictments and so on. I would assume that's what you mean. We'll have to see what he says.
Folks, it's coming down now. I can't tell you the detail of it, but I can tell you it is coming down right now. Developments are happening every day. The Durham law have got many of the players who are all trying to do proffers, offering proffers, if they're granted immunity from prosecution. Let me tell you, if they didn't know that they had broken the law, they would not be offering proffers, or in other words, making a deal, in exchange for immunity to prosecution. That means they know they can be prosecuted, and they're trying to fix it where if they turn on everybody else, to at least let us not go to jail. That's going on as we speak. Andy McKay, he's trying desperately to put together a package for him so that he doesn't go to jail. Kane is right now. And I've got a news flash for Comey, James Comey, and the Red Lynch. As you should know by now, the transcripts that have been let out have been made public from their testimonies before closed door hearings in both the Senate and the House. One thing jumps out and grabs you. Comey says Lynch told him to not call looking into Hillary's case, an investigation and used for matter. However, in Lynch's testimony, she said she never had such a conversation. The Comey came up with that. Now, I happen to know for a fact that came in a meeting, but in a way, Lynch is sort of telling more truth than Comey. And you understand what I said? Lynch, I know, in the meeting, in a meeting, is closer to telling the truth than Comey. The person that actually made the change from investigation to matter was Hillary herself. Hillary. Lynch didn't do it. Hillary did. And Comey jumped on it and said, okay. And one thing's being looked at now, if this helps any of y'all, one thing's being looked at very carefully. Many of the Clinton people having to do with the Clinton Foundation investigation and Hillary, that whole investigation that Cohen said she did all these things with no prosecutor would prosecute them for it, which is a lie. I'm trying to be careful what I say. As a matter of fact, I better not. Well, yeah, well, there's going to be something that comes out that is going to be tough for Hillary. The first, one of the problems Barr and his team are looking at the people that were let off in their test, in other words, people that testified and were granted immunity. Almost every major player in the Hillary camp the ones that have been interviewed or were interviewed as part of the investigation, they were all granted immunity. Now, under those immunity grants, the question is, today, can law go back at those people and essentially do away with the immunity contracts?
There'd be a possibility of that?
It's being looked into, that's all I can tell you.
Wow.
Now, most probably what will have to happen to override those immunity deals is they're going to have to come at these same individuals within a different matter. I say matter in a different case. If they can do that, they can still get to the same place. But I assure you, they can, or can go around, I believe it can go around those immunities. Because those immunities were all connected in specificity to a certain case. And the Clintons have been involved in many different issues, many different things. So don't lose faith that those people that were granted immunity, don't lose faith that we're never going to be able to hear, never going to be able to get those people and investigate and use their statements, etc. Don't believe that. But you're going to hear that there is controversy over the immunities. Do they still stand? And law get to those people with those immunity deals standing? What else you got there?
Any information on Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
No, other than the fact that she had to work out of her bed, her deathbed. She's wondering what she can stay in because there is no way they're going to let her, even though she's not dead already, they're not going to let her retire. The Trump can pick another Supreme Court justice. And I'm going to go.
I'm sure you got that firsthand. Okay. What about statute of limitations?
The statute of limitations clock is running out, but the things that are going on with law and Durham are taking care of the clock running out on many of these issues because of the statute of limitations. Law is keenly aware, as is Durham, they are keenly aware of the issue of statute of limitations time period. And so they are addressing cases that say if a crime's committed and nobody does anything for a number of years, whatever the number of years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, whatever the number of years statute of limitation is, if nobody does anything, when that time runs out, you can't do anything to them. But as long as law or Durham or anybody, as long as any legal process is taken in those cases, the clock starts again. So all law has to do is identify those cases that are running out and then instigate some activity in the case. And then he can get a new clock. So don't worry. They're not going to run it out. Not law.
Awesome. I'm just so tired of Pelosi and Schumer running their mouths. I think we all are. Someone commented that Trump got the wall for 5G protection. What do you think of that idea?
I don't know. Just truly don't know. Now last night, I saw a piece of it. Tucker Carlson did a piece about 5G. didn't get to see it. I just sort of saw a clip of it. I don't know in that interview when they got through whether they had resolved or even addressed the issue of safety cleanup of the being dangerous. Does anybody know? Did anybody see that on Tucker Cross? I'm sorry, I don't understand I don't. That's not something I look into. It's not something I know about.
Okay, here's another.
For y'all.
We'll come back to that because I need to go with these questions in order. Do you have any idea what the envelopes were at Bush's funeral?
Yes, an invitation to a gathering for the families and the presidents and vice presidents, past presidents, past vice presidents to come. That's all it was. It was not a indictment.
It was interesting to see their faces when it happened, though.
Well, I'm sure it was a bit. Yeah, I'm sure it was not apropos to be getting an invitation to a thing after the funeral that evening in the middle of the funeral service. I would imagine that to kind of stand off a little bit. That's a little rude. But I can assure every person listening to me now, I promise you, this I know as fact. Those are not indictments.
Can Trump order or stop the chem spraying?
I guess he could. I think he can. I know he can. I know he could stop it. But I don't know what he knows about it, in truth. And so I don't know if he will stop it. I don't know what he knows. Remember, Donald Trump's like all the rest of us, right? He's not a scientist. He's not all these things. So he has to rely on the people telling him these different things. So he's probably being told that it's not chemtrails or I don't know what he's being told. But I just don't know about that. But I know he could if he knew about it and wanted to, if he felt strongly enough about it. Okay.
Don't have any more yet.
I'm sorry, what?
We don't have any more questions or comments right now. Somebody thinks the chemtrails are repairing the atmosphere with all the nuclear testing. There's a lot of different things that I've heard. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I just truly don't know about it yet. Since we've got a break in time here for questions, I really need to ask y'all, all of you listening, if you could send some help today. Please, I need it desperately. I'm undergoing a lot of treatment and I need help to get it done. So if you can, at all, send what you can to Nichols Live at AOL.com, please. Nichols Live at AOL.com. And had it not been for a couple of 3 people who have helped us significantly, I wouldn't be here today. And they've done all they can do, so we don't have anything. So I'm asking, will you help me in the coming weeks and months? If I'm able, I promise you will be ahead of the curve on knowing exactly what's going on. You will know before anybody else, and you will know the truth. But I need your help to be so maybe others do it as well. Let's call it a telethon. I need your help. I don't think you realize how much work I have to do to try to help this country. I don't think you realize. I am not your typical talk show host. I don't. This program's not a job for me. It's not. So I don't do it like a lot of different people that have like this their job. I don't sell ads. I strictly have to ask y'all for help.
All right, we got a promise of 20. Can somebody match that?
Mm-hmm. Please, thank you. Thank you.
I put it. Hang on, Larry. Hang on. I put in the chat. Somebody asked how to send money. PayPal account is nicholslive@aol.com. If you don't do PayPal, text 240-499-6729, and we will help you figure out a different way to send something. Nicholslive.com has a link to the PayPal.
Somebody else. Let's make a commitment. Somebody else.
Somebody says I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know more than anyone, I suppose, on planet Earth, what all I'm involved in. And although you can't talk about the specifics I'm involved in.
It's a little hard when I don't know them anyhow. But I have gotten enough hints. Larry, I've gotten enough hints, either from what you've said recently or from when you say something now and I remember something you've said a year ago or 2 years ago and I start putting 2 and 2 together, my jaw drops. When I hear a hint of something that you're working on, like what you share here, you're talking about it, and then, weeks, months, sometimes days, but days, weeks, months, a year later, I hear other people talking about it. The first thing that goes through my mind is, I wonder if that originated with Larry. That's the first thing I ask. So that's something other people can certainly do, is pay attention, be right here. I haven't missed a day in 3 years of, whenever you've been on the air. I've been here listening. I've been interacting with you when we've had an opportunity, whether it's by text, by conference call, direct call, whatever way it's been. I've watched what you say you do, and then I've watched the evidence come out. And although I don't have details about what's going on, when it starts to come out, my first inclination is, that sounds an awful lot what Larry was talking about X days, weeks, months, years ago.
By the way, Mindy, thank you. Mindy was the person that kicked it off. And Mindy, you got your shirts. I'd like you to report, if you would, whether you like them or not.
She did, Larry.
T-shirt.
I'll tell you, I'll read what she said. I gotta go back up here. The shirts are beautiful! Exclamation point. You won't be sorry. Mine are very nice.
Good. Now, Miriam, do I work hard at this stuff?
Are you kidding me? you work to your you are determined to work to your last breath. And I've heard you get off the phone with whoever you've been with, and you've called just to talk about whether you can do the program today or not. And you said you've been on a call. I don't know who you've been on a call with, but I will hear you gasping for air because of the difficulty of what you've just been through. Yeah, you work harder than anybody else that I know of. With what you have, you give everything you've got in more ways than one.
Thank you. Now, somebody else besides really, please. Somebody else. Can you? Please. You're out there. Help us. We've got to stay informed. And things are going to go so fast now. And what's bad, y'all, is a lot of this stuff that I'm bringing you, it's not out to the public to know. And I have to be very careful about what I do say and what I can say. But I will not lead you astray. I will not tell you something's coming that I don't know is coming. I'm just going to do that to you. My whole plan is if I can give raw information ahead of time, you can use that information. Tell others. To your friends and people that are like-minded, you can tell them. And then when it comes to pass, we probably gain a soldier and we gain somebody. What kills us is when we tell them something's coming and then don't. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you help us.
Shotgun,
we're all trying to save the country. Yes.
Shotgun Susie just pledged $500.
My Lord, has to get that Shotgun Susie in Louisiana.
We'll see.
If that's who you are, I haven't heard from you in a long time. A long time.
We got somebody else is sending 20. Two people just said they sent 20. Question: do you think going door to door in California in a mostly Mexican neighborhood would help to tell them about socialism?
No, I do not. Look, please understand what I'm about to tell you. Please, please, please. Going to people that don't like Trump, forget it. Going to the door, forget it. Because you don't know who you're talking to. And if in that Hispanic community, you know the people that are here legally and are just as upset about any immigration as we are, yes, go to those people, please. But I don't want y'all going through the suffering that you'll go through talking to people that literally hate Trump, hate the Republicans, because they're not going to change and they're just going to beat you down, just beat you down. Y'all should see it now. You should see it. You should see yourselves cases like, like Kavanaugh. When that whole thing they brought out against him was bogus. It was bogus. But half of America don't care. Half of America don't care. They believe it still this day. And then we got the governor of Virginia, the lieutenant governor of Virginia, and the stuff that women have claimed about them. And guess what? It doesn't even get a hiccup. People don't care about that. I've never seen it like this, guys. I've never seen us so bitterly bitterly divided. I have never seen it this way. Where people are just so absolutely bitterly divided. If you don't like Trump, there ain't anything he can give away gold bricks, and you ain't gonna like it. If you love Trump, you're fine with everything he does. You hate everything he's happening to you.
Hey, Larry? Anthony's got it. Listen to what he said. The best way to get this information out is to tell your friends and then your friends telling friends. That's fabulous. That's exactly what we want to happen. That is how Bill Clinton got impeached. Was friends telling friends and telling the truth.
There still stands if y'all want to have a gathering in your home of 2 or 3 or 4 couples. Have dinner or something and talk about it. And you think it would help for me to come? Well, I can't come, but I'll get there on the phone. I'll do that. If I can at all. And that will turn a lot of people on, believe me. It'll help you in a way because the people you know, they're probably shocked that you'd be able to get a quote unquote, which I'm not bragging, it's just what I am, a national figure to come and be at your party with your friends. Not many people can claim that. You can. You can. And I'll be there. I'm firmly committed. We've got to win this 2020 race. If we have to do it one person at a time, as I've got with one person at a time.
Okay, one more thing for you to address while we're doing one person at a time. This person says, all my friends and family are in Trump derangement syndrome. I'm trying in baby steps. Any ideas for how we find, I'm in a Republican enclave in a very Democratic area, but I have not been able to figure out which of my neighbors are Republican. They're so few and far between, even where I live, which is the one little spot of Republican in my whole county and state, or at least my county. So,
may I make a suggestion to you?
mm-hmm.
Get a T-shirt and wear that T-shirt where you go, wherever you go, and people will come and ask you about it. And if they do, then you have found someone you need to be working with. They will work. We tested them. Sandy, a good friend, loyal person to our program. Sandy is like that. People come. They'll ask you. That's the purpose of the shirt. The purpose of the shirt is exactly to fit the situation where Eleanor, the listener, was talking about. How do you know? How can you take 100 people? You don't know them. How do you know which ones are kind of with us and which ones are not? The T-shirt will help you break that down. Now, no, everybody that's with us is not going to come up and say, what about that T-shirt? You're not going to do that, but a bunch will. Several will. I beg you to understand. We're going to lose this country if we don't get active. We'll lose it.
And folks, when we go to church, wherever they stand, we have got to let our friends know that if our Christian friends don't stand up and do something and obey what James says, the book of James says that faith without works is dead. And the works that we need to do, although we help the poor, our churches do a lot of wonderful things for others, but they avoid the political realm, and we can't avoid it anymore, or we will lose the country. And we will be communists, and then we won't have the freedom to worship as we like.
Well, last night I did see a thing on Tucker Carlson. And television, everybody was talking about Christianity, how Christians are being murdered all over the world. Murdered. There's no big cry. There's no big effort to stop it. You don't hear anything about it. The Christians are getting slaughtered. And it'll be that way here if we don't do something in 2020. Do you hear me? This is not a game. This is not a movie. This is not a TV series that, even though the good guys get shot, they'll always be back next week or the next week. The same way this is. This is as absolutely real as it is. It's real. Now, I don't think any of you could have ever imagined there would be a day that people running for the presidency of the United States, people running for the presidency, would declare themselves democratic socialists. Never thought I'd see it. Never. And I'll give you another tip. You know, all these politicians on the Democratic side that are running for president and talking up socialism as they are, let me tell you, most of them don't even know what it's about. You know that? They don't know. They just know that the millennials are in favor of it. So if the millennials are in favor of it, what they're going to do is say they're in favor of it too to try to get their vote. It's the most pathetic thing you'll ever see. Politicians don't do what you think. They're not leaders. What politicians do today is they find out which way the crowd's going and then run and get in front of it and say, follow me. I need you to be leaders. Leaders. Stand up. Stand up for what you believe. You go to church and they're talking about your friends, they won't talk about it on the podium. Those people in church are talking about abortion. Don't stop calling it abortion. It's not abortion anymore. It's murder. Abortion's always been murder, but it's really murder now if they allow babies to be born and then decide whether to kill them or not. That's murder. I mean, do you believe in America, the United States of America, there would ever be a day that we would be in favor, people would be in favor of killing newborn babies? One of the most horrible things on earth, killing babies, that I can't even comprehend after a child's born, for the mother to decide she doesn't want it and kill it. My God, what have we become? What have we become? Shotgun Susie, if you're there, I'd like to hear from you. My phone number is 440-897-0611. That is 440-897-0611. I'd like to hear from you and talk to you in years. That was about our time. I'm sorry, Mary. What?
We got a couple more. Do you know why Melania is wanting everyone to get vaccinated?
They're not. They're not. And again, this is not something that I all that knowledgeable in, but there are people, I assume she to be one, that believes that, you know, kids need to be vaccinated for their safety and their health. She could be wrong. She could be right. What else you got right there?
Just one more. God says in the Trump prophecies that Trump will get 2 terms. Just remember James 2, that faith without works is dead. And a lot of times prophecies may be what God wants, but if people don't do what they're supposed to do, it doesn't happen.
I didn't know that. I thought if it was a true prophecy from God, then you bet on it.
Well, okay, look at this. When Jonah went to Nineveh, he told them in 40 days, Nineveh will be destroyed. He said, repent. And God gave him a chance to repent. Now, perhaps it was a condition that if you don't repent, Nineveh will be destroyed. But the fact is, he said in 40 days, Nineveh will be destroyed. Well, they repented and they changed their ways. And it was 40 years before Nineveh was destroyed. God delayed it. So we hear these prophecies that Trump will have 2 terms. I want to believe that. But it's not. God works through people. And so we have to step up and do our part to help bring about what God has prophesied he wants to happen. Or what these prophets have said God wants to happen.
Yeah, and I don't think that's my opinion. I don't feel good about us telling God, look, you do it, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do anything. If you want it done, you got to do it. That's just not the conversation that I have when we have with God. He's got a purpose for every one of us. He does. And if you're feeling it now in your conscience, sometimes I think your conscience is God speaking to you. If your conscience says you need to help and do something, then you need to help and do something. Anything else going on?
No, sir. Oh, where do I go to get Larry's anti-socialism shirt? Yes, it's at nicholslive.com. There should be a link there that says merchandise. And if you can't find it, then again, I will say,
We're putting another order together, so if you want, please let us know.
yeah, if you're having
It'll be a couple of weeks before they come in, so if you want one and you just can't pay right now, just know it's going to be a couple of weeks, so we got to know if you want one.
Casey, if you can't find it on nicholslive.com, give me a call, 240-499-6729. Actually, text, and I'll call you back.
Any announcements, Miriam?
No, that's it. Thank you for your help.
Folks, I need your help today, please. Shotgun, if you're going to be able to send that money, please send it fast. It's desperately needed. The guys, till tomorrow. Good day.
Thank you, folks.